Hey everyone, welcome back to the USA Cabinet Store Remodeling Podcast. I am your host, Chris, and today we are digging into one of the most searched questions by Central Florida homeowners this year. How much does a bathroom remodel actually cost in Orlando in 2026? And joining me to break it all down is our design expert, Jessica. Jess, great to have you on.
Thanks, Chris. Always a pleasure. And you picked a great topic because the number of calls we get from homeowners who saw a $10,000 average online and then got a $25,000 quote, it is genuinely confusing out there. So I think our job today is to cut through that noise and give listeners real, honest Orlando numbers they can actually plan around.
Exactly. So let us start with the headline. If you Google bathroom remodel cost Orlando, you will see an average of about $10,500, with most projects landing between $5,700 and $15,300. That number comes from Angie data. But Jess, you are telling me that number is kind of misleading?
Very misleading, and here is why. That average blends a $2,500 paint and fixture refresh together with a $40,000 full gut renovation. So the number itself is accurate, but it is not useful for planning. When we look at the JLC cost versus value benchmarks, which are much more specific, a mid-range Orlando bathroom remodel is around $25,600, and an upscale one is over $80,000. Those are the numbers you actually want if you are pulling permits and hiring contractors.
Okay, so give me the working framework. If someone is sitting down this weekend to plan their budget, what are the tiers?
5 tiers, roughly. A cosmetic refresh, same layout, new paint, new fixtures, maybe a new vanity, runs $3,000 to $9,000. A partial remodel, where you gut the wet area but keep the layout, runs $9,000 to $22,000. A full remodel down to studs on a standard guest bath is $15,000 to $35,000. Your primary or master bath remodel, that is $25,000 to $50,000, sometimes more. An upscale spa grade with frameless glass and custom cabinetry, that is $50,000 to $80,000 and up.
That is a useful ladder. Now, per square foot, what are Orlando homeowners paying?
$70 to $250 per square foot, with an average near $140. Orlando's cost of living sits about 7% above the national average, so labor is slightly higher than the national midpoint. But it is still well below Miami, Tampa, or New York pricing. Quality level drives the spread more than square footage, though. A 40-square-foot guest bath can land anywhere from $9,000 to $50,000, depending on what you spec inside it.
Okay, let us follow the money. On a typical $20,000 mid-range project, where does it actually go?
Labor and project management is your biggest slice, about 31%. Call it $6,200. Materials and finishes are around 22%, so $4,500. Fixtures and fittings another 21%, $4,300. Plumbing and electrical trade work is around $2,300. Permits and haul away are a smaller slice, about $800. And then you should be holding back roughly 10% as a contingency, so about $1,900. That contingency is not optional, by the way.
Yeah, let us hit that. Why do you push contingency so hard?
Because Orlando has a lot of older housing stock, and once walls open, you find surprises. Water damage behind tile, old polybutylene plumbing, non-GFCI wiring, rotted subfloor. Anything built before 1990, I tell people to lean toward the 15% end. That cushion is what separates a finished project from a stressed-out homeowner calling their credit card company.
So what makes Orlando different from, say, Virginia or Texas? I know you have some strong opinions on this.
Yeah, a few things. First, Florida humidity. Indoor humidity here runs 60 to 70% year-round, which rules out some materials. You need porcelain tile, mold-resistant drywall, proper exhaust ventilation. Those humidity-compliant choices add 10 to 20% to material costs. Second, the Florida building code is strict. GFCI on every bathroom outlet, dedicated 20-amp branch circuit, proper exhaust ventilation on the plans. That is the baseline that trades price against, not an upgrade.
And permits, this is where I see homeowners get tripped up.
Right. The City of Orlando calculates building permits on construction value, not a flat fee. Combined building, electrical, plumbing, and mechanical permits usually run $335 to $465 for a standard same layout bathroom. And here's the big one. If your construction value is over $5,000, you must file a Notice of Commencement under Florida Statute 713 before work starts. People miss this, and it becomes a problem at resale. Also, working without a required permit adds a 100% penalty to the permit fee when caught.
Okay, permits handled, budget set. How long does this actually take?
Cosmetic refresh is 1 to 3 weeks. Mid-range remodel is 3 to 6 weeks. A full gut renovation takes 6 to 10 weeks. And an upscale spa-style primary bath can run 10 to 14 weeks or more. But here is the thing. On-site work is the shortest phase. What really drives the schedule is selections, permit approval, which adds 1 to 3 weeks on its own, and material lead times. Custom vanities run 6 to 12 weeks. So book your contractor 8 to 12 weeks ahead of your target start date, especially if you want to wrap before snowbird season.
Let us talk resale. If I'm investing $20,000 in a bathroom, what do I get back?
Bathroom remodels in Orlando return 65 to 80% of their cost at resale. A mid-range remodel adds around $13,700 in home value. An upscale project can add up to $39,000, but ROI varies a lot by bathroom type. Half baths and powder rooms are the winners at 75 to 85% ROI. Guest baths are 70 to 80. Primary baths actually come in lower, 55 to 65%, because they appeal to a narrower buyer pool. Luxury custom baths are the worst for ROI, only 45 to 55%. But obviously, the daily life value is different.
All right, so if I want to stretch my budget, what are the real levers? Not the gimmicky tips, the real ones.
Number 1, keep the plumbing layout fixed. Moving a shower drain is $500 to $1,500 per fixture. Moving a toilet is $2,500 to $3,500 because drain pipes need precise slope. Reusing existing plumbing saves $2,000 to $5,000 instantly. Number 2, order cabinets and specialty tile before demo, not after. Lead times are 6 to 12 weeks on custom vanities. Number 3, choose porcelain that mimics marble instead of real marble. 30 to 50% cheaper, handles humidity better, no sealing every 2 years. And number 4, spend on what is behind the wall. Waterproofing, shower valves, exhaust. Skimping on those is what causes $10,000 mold remediation bills 3 years later.
Last thing before we wrap. Red flags when homeowners are hiring a contractor in Orlando. What do they need to watch for?
4 big ones. First, any contractor who says we do not need a permit for this. If there is plumbing, electrical, or structural work, it needs a permit. Period. Second, no DBER license number. Florida law requires a current license for any job over $1,000, and you can verify it online. Third, a 50% upfront deposit. 10 to 20% is normal. Anything higher is a red flag. And fourth, pressure to sign today. No legitimate contractor needs your signature in the room. Florida law even gives you a 3-day right of rescission on most residential contracts.
Really solid breakdown, Jess. Thank you. So to wrap, if you are planning a bathroom remodel anywhere in Orlando Winter Park, Lake Nona, or Winter Springs, the team at USA Cabinet Store has their Winter Springs showroom at 5812 Redbug Lake Road in Winter Springs. You can walk in, pull samples, and leave with a real line item estimate. No pressure, no obligation. Call 407-335-4404 or book a complimentary consultation online at usacabinetstore.com. Jess, final word?
Thanks, Chris. And listeners, remember, the best remodel is the one you budget honestly for, including that contingency. Do that and your project will survive contact with the job site. We will see you next episode.
See you next time. This has been the USA Cabinet Store Remodeling Podcast.